Today, I'm going to be covering a real world asset cryptocurrency that is most likely going to 100x in price from the current market cap. Make sure you stick around because I think this project going into the bull run we're about to witness is going to do extremely well. Let's get straight into it. Good day everyone, my name is Zach and I'm here to help you with your cryptocurrency investing journey. Just remember, nothing I say is financial advice, and if you'd like to collaborate with myself and like-minded crypto investors, make sure you join the Crypto with Zach Discord server. Link is in the description. So before we get into the video, the Crypto with Zach Premium is up and running starting at $10 a month, which will be raised going into the future. There are a lot of benefits, all right? In the premium Discord section of the server, I am continually updating it and making it the most valuable resource you'll ever need in cryptocurrency. So if you'd like to collaborate with myself, a lot easier, all right? You want to get that one-on-one support and guidance in the cryptocurrency world, make sure you check that out. Link is in the description. So what is Realio Network? It's a Web3 ecosystem for digital and real-world assets. So we all know that real-world asset narrative is starting to heat up and gain some real attention. So off this, it's already bound to do incredibly well in the bull run. So what is Realio Network? It's a blockchain-based software as a service, or SaaS platform for the assurance, investing, and lifecycle management of securities off the centralized world. And the team are wanting to develop and deploy a few things. So one being a 100% digital blockchain-powered on-chain peer-to-peer decentralized exchange, or DEX. Another being a hub for investing and managing digital currencies, securities, and real-world assets such as real estate, and ultimately aiming to expand the limitations that investing using blockchain technology currently has. So as we can see here, straight off the bat, we have a few features. So an interoperable layer 1 multi-chain Web3 ecosystem focused on the assurance and management of digitally native real-world assets. Its design is fully open source, permissionless, and purpose-built. So there's a few components that is really setting Realio Network out from its competitors. So ultimately, security is a pretty big one, all right? The blockchain is secured by validators, bonding, native Rio and RST in the network. It's also Web3 compliant, all right? Web3 is going to be massive, and as we set up here, a Web3 ecosystem for digital real-world assets is going to be massive. Also, the governance, all right, there is a governance system behind it. So built for its users, the Realio Network allows participation and voting in network upgrades when a user participates as a validator or a delegator to validators. They've also got staking and the tokenization of new assets, all right. So there's a few key components for this project going into the future. So it kind of hits, well, not kind of, it does hit that real world narrative on the head. And it's going to be a good project going into the future, all right? However, with the real world asset narrative starting to kick off, this will drive the pioneers such as Realio to do very well in the bull run, right? So as we know, last bull run, we didn't really see real world assets kick off as we kind of hoped. The same with AI, right? AI was around last cycle, but it didn't really kick off, and AI is starting to really gain some solid traction. Obviously, it has some help with the centralized world, with AI being this massive narrative across the world, but real world assets will kind of do the same thing this bull run. Probably not to that extent, because there are a lot more AI projects and a lot more advanced AI projects out there compared to real world assets. However, the pioneers, all right, the pioneers like Realio Network and the projects that have been around for a while, especially with Mainnet coming out, Mainnet has come out, we'll talk about that in a sec, but especially with this going into the future, Realio Network is going to thrive this bull run. So talking about its Mainnet, it was released in April of this year, and the project was launched in 2020. So they really did spend a lot of time on that testnet and developing this project into something special. We are on Mainnet, and it's going to be interesting to see what these guys are going to bring into the future. So Valentis Digital, all right, is coming soon. This is going to be the hub for investing in real-world assets such as real estate. And it's currently in development, all right? There are a lot of development sort of things that are going on around the project that going into the future, it's going to be really important that these get out there prior to the bull run so that we can ensure that this project achieves the maximum potential that is kind of set for that real-world asset narrative. As this project has to set apart from other real-world asset projects out there to really identify and make its own name. Have a Realio Network, the name has kind of been thrown around quite a bit, and if we check out their Twitter, we can see, right, there's not a small following, and some of the big gem finders out there are following it, all right? There are quite a few, and a massive following, and they are currently keeping everyone up to date, as they always have been in the past, which is always good, all right? It's always good to keep the community informed, but there's also a few more perks to this site, right? So they've got a built-in wallet. Sorry, internet is a bit slow. So they do have a built-in wallet which you can utilize, and they also have their decentralized exchange swap, which is pretty basic, right? There is not a huge amount of tokens on here, but it is still there and is something that they can develop going into the future. They also have their trade, all right? Kind of like the decentralized exchange, the swap, all right? There's not too many projects on here, but it is still there. That's going to be something I'm going to be watching about the project, all right? Going forward, they need to develop the current technology and things that they have provided, especially going into a bull run. You need to set yourself apart. They also have their assurance network. So we see they are across a few different networks out there. Some big ones out there are BNB and Ethereum. So really it's programmed, all right? It's programmed for this project to do well, but they're going to have to keep developing and pushing their product going forward, which is going to be really interesting to see how they do it. You know, with Valentis Digital coming very soon, that is going to be very big. All right, this is what the project really needs before the bull run starts. This is going to be massive for the project. All right, this is really what the project is here for, and we can see that their last projects like here and here ended quite a long time ago. So here is a list of the basic and main pros and cons of the project. So the pros, right? A pioneer in the real world asset narrative. That is a big one, especially with real world assets. It's going to be big this bull run, and the hype is there to drive it. And their vision to empower the lacking areas in blockchain investing capabilities, all right? Blockchain investing capabilities are quite small right now, and Realio Network is really going to push the boundaries going forward. And also looking to provide services for many digital currencies and securities, as well as investment opportunities. That is where Valentis Digital is going to be big for the project, like I said before. They also have a large social media following for a low cap gem. There is a large amount of hype and ability for hype to be created, and there is no resistance, and we'll show this on the chart in just a sec, above that $2.70 mark. But there are a few cons, all right? It needs to bring more use cases to the table. So once that Valentis Digital comes out, this will kind of dip out. But they also need more use cases in the sense of their decentralized exchange, right? Their swap and also their trade. And we'll cover this in a sec as well. Their tokenomics are not ideal. There is quite a low circulating supply, and the market cap is quite low, which isn't that bad, all right? This is actually good if you're wanting to get quite a few returns, such as that 100x, and their previous underperforming history, which kind of lies in with this no resistance above $2.70. So we can see right here, here's that $2.70 mark. This, I wouldn't call this, a very big thing to worry about. I'm not really worried about that big spike right here, but it's all of these buys right here. If people are still holding them, there's going to be a lot of choppy price action around that area. But once we push through this mark, there is no resistance above it. There is no sort of volume waiting to try and get out. So once we push above that $2.70 mark, it is going to be a very free price. But as we said, those tokenomics are not very good. 8.76% in circulation, sitting at a $3.8 million market cap out of a fully diluted market cap of $43.5 million. So there's that tokenomic inflation risk. However, this hasn't moved in quite a while. And if we have a look, there hasn't really been any tokenary inflation in the whole life of the project, except during this period down here. So ultimately, we can see that it did underperform last bull run, which I'm not too worried about, because that real world asset narrative was kind of talked about, but it wasn't really a driving hot narrative in the previous bull run. But it's getting spoken about quite a bit now, and we're not even in the bull run yet, right? We're not in the bull run yet, and it's already starting to get that nice push to the upside. So we look at the last year's performance, we've only been up. Since the start of the year, only up. And it's in quite not the most ideal buying area. Like, we could potentially come down to these prices here, or something like 45 cents potentially. I'm going to let you guys make the decision on when you want to buy your bags or when you want to up your bags, but there is a buying opportunity coming very, very soon, if not now. If you're in the project, I would consider potentially getting your foot in the door and buying all the way down, because I don't think we're going to be going too much further to these prices down here. If I were to give my price prediction for this project, I do think it can 100x, especially if that real world asset narrative kicks off and it's extremely hot, it is going to do very, very well. However, the only issue I have, right, is that circulating supply, but that volume right now is absolutely through the roof. Massive, all right? 176% of that market cap is going in and out every day, so it's obviously getting traded around quite a bit and getting thrown between person to person. However, it's good signs. Money is interested, and I think going forward, this is going to be doing very well, and I do think Realio Network can 100x from the current market cap, because it's only a $380 million market cap if the tokenomics stay the same and it hits that 100x. Who's stopping this from potentially going to $1 billion, especially if Valentis Digital partners with this project and ensures that they can get a top quality project out there? That is really going to be the only thing stopping that 100x, is if that takes a while to happen. So that's Realio Network. I hope you guys got a bit of value out of this video. If you did, consider leaving a like and subscribing. Also, if you want to join the Patreon, all right, get all my early calls, and I've completely upgraded my Discord server for that premium service. People that have bought the premium service, sorry. So if you want to get that, link will also be in the description. Apart from that, I hope the markets have been treating you well, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.